Well, what's going on, everyone? Here in southeastern North Carolina, we had snow overnight. Wow, look at it. We got a ton of snow. There was a lot this morning. It's about 11 o'clock right now. The snow has kind of melted down a little bit, but there's probably maybe, I don't know, 6-7 inches of snow. So we're gonna have a fun day of running out in the snow with some of the vehicles, something I don't get to do much being here on the coast of North Carolina. This is a very rare thing that we see snow. So the first piece of equipment I'm taking out the front loader, do a little bit of some plowing there, clear off the driveway. And boy, it's chilly. It's only like 20 degrees here. That is crazy cold. But anyway, my friends, let's go ahead and get into the video. We gotta turn it on. We're gonna start plowing some of the snow. It is pretty icy down there. Let's see how this thing's gonna work. My friends, I just got back in the house. It is way cold out there. I mean, we're southern people. We don't deal with this type of weather. But, it was a lot of fun, but my hands are numb. Oh man, it's cold out there. Take a look. Outside. Look at that. It's good and thick and deep out there, and that wind's just howling. You can see the snowdrift coming off the roofs and stuff like that. But oh my God, crazy outside there. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit, and then I'll venture back out, probably taking one of the crawlers out there. I'm not exactly sure. Will the TRX4 make it out? Will the little Hummer make it out? I don't know. I'm not too much I don't know if I really want to take out the hydraulic vehicles with being that cold. The fluid might get stiffed up and cause some issues. But I know one bad boy that would probably make it out there pretty well. The HC6 is a beast, and she'll plow right through all that. That might be a fun video to do. But anyway, I'm gonna warm up. Fishies are up there warmed up. But alright, my friends, later. Well, my friends, back out here to play in the snow a little bit. Like I said, something we don't see here in southeastern North Carolina. Now, I've took out a vehicle that I have not took out in quite a long time. And yes, this time I'm wearing gloves outside. But the vehicle I had not took out in a long time, let me show you. My friends, the behemoth, the HC6 from CrossRC. I hadn't took this vehicle out in a long time. She's been sitting up on the shelf there collecting dust, hadn't been out. Well, she's about to touch the snow again. This is her second time being out in the snow, and we got some pretty nice untouched snow back there. Now the snow has melted. You can see it used to be about that high. You couldn't see the bricks, so the snow is melting. So let's go back and have some fun. The old girl has been out. She's been up too long. She is not going to break free. Alright, we got to give her a push back. Alright, let's try this again. Let's see. Full blast. And I'm running only 7.4 volts, not a 3-cell like it's supposed to be in there. Yeah, Alright, give her a little tug back in. The snow. Look at this. It's pretty deep. So she's just basically riding on. Let me show you what I mean deep. That explains why she's having a hard time. Because we're just mere inches. She's just collapsing. She's so heavy too. She's a fat girl. She's a fatty. Alright. Well, the behemoth has let me down. Not really let me down. Trucks never let me down. It's just, you know, we're this deep. So, yeah, she's not going to be able to handle all that. So, let's take her back inside. Not running a 11.1 volts 3-cell, only a 2-cell, so really not the power there. Driving one hand, trying to film this at the same time. Backing up. All right, we're back on solid ground. Sounds like she needs a little grease there. See if we can get some of the snow off of it. Well, maybe later on, maybe when the snow has melted down a little bit more, we might be able to do some trailing with the vehicle, but boy did I make a mess. Alright, friends. Back to the homestead. Well, my friends, I grabbed one of my oldest model construction vehicles I have. This is the WL model of choice. 1600, I think it is. It's like the Hawina 580, same thing, just a little different version, but we got our snowplow bucket or blade on there. So, let's go ahead and take this thing out. Let's see what we can do. Tried the Vava one. It didn't work out too well because it didn't have a snow plow blade on it. It just has a regular